So I'm doing another one of my walk and talk podcasts today, and this is the third on my series of benefits of growing your own food, particularly in the context of an allotment. And I've also done one on some of the negative aspects as well, which is worth checking out. And if you're listening to this, then unfortunately you're missing out on the beautiful scenery that I'm walking through that you can enjoy if you're watching it on my Seaside Allotment YouTube channel. And today I wanted to talk about some of the lesser known, or at least lesser talked about, benefits of growing your own food and working on an allotment. And I want to start by just talking a little bit about something the human brain really likes. It really likes to know where it is and where it's going. It likes to know what time of day it is, and the most powerful signal that kind of anchors it to the time of day is night and morning. And when you get outside in the morning in full light, it doesn't matter whether it's cloudy or sunny, that really anchors the brain and tells it that it's morning, and it resets the circadian rhythm. That can have really profound impacts on your health. So it's really beneficial to get out and about early in the morning in full daylight for 15 minutes to half an hour, and in my case 2 or 3 hours probably, on the allotment. And it also really likes to know where it is in space, and when it's in a place that it really knows well, really intimately, it feels safe. And when it's safe, the brain is safe, it feels very relaxed. And I think that's one of the reasons why we are so relaxed on allotments. It's not just being out in nature, it's being in a space that we really know in really considerable and intimate detail. And of course the converse of that is being lost, and we all know how the brain dislikes being lost. But there's another kind of being lost, and that's being lost in life, not really having a sense of direction, a sense of purpose, a sense of progress in life. And an allotment can give you that, even if you don't have that in other areas of your life. So it can be a fantastic way, if your life's a bit out of control, and I'm on an extremely muddy path at the moment trying to figure out a route. So if you're out of control in day-to-day life, an allotment can kind of help you get back in control, give you a sense of progress, and give you a sense of purpose. Now, one of the biggest changes that's taken place in the last few decades is that we've gone from a situation where we actually spent most of our time alone with our own thoughts, to a situation where we're really processing the output from other people's minds almost all the time. We're reading, watching TV, listening to music, listening to podcasts, talking to other people, just a constant stream of input from other people, and not really being alone with our own thoughts, reflecting on our own thoughts, processing our own thoughts. So although I think it's great that you're watching or listening to this video stroke podcast, I think it's also wonderful if you can take the headphones out and or switch the radio off and just embrace the solitude and become comfortable with your own thoughts with your own company. It's a really great opportunity. And while you're at it, look up, watch the birds flying in the sky, follow them with your eyes. It's really good for the eyes. And if you can do that for 20 minutes a day, 20 minutes a week even, you'll get some significant benefits. So I also think that one of the nicest things about gardening is that you really get to appreciate the difference between movement and exercise. Now, the way I think about it is that movement is what you do when you're living, and exercise is what you do when you're preparing your body and mind to some extent for living. The way I like to factor that into my personal life is I like to spend 3 or 4 hours a day moving, just living, but living in motion. And I like to spend perhaps 20 minutes in the gym doing sprint intervals in the swimming pool and perhaps a high intensity strength workout in the gym every few days. And that's about the right balance, I think. So for completeness, I'll just mention the joy of being out in nature, being at one with the seasons, understanding and being part of the cycle of life. All of those things are extremely grounding and extremely relaxing, extremely humbling as well. Of course, the fresh air and the silence, just incredible as well. Although on my site it seems like silence is a rare commodity because all I can ever hear is people trimming the weeds. But let's set that aside because it's nice to have people around. And that brings me to my final benefit of having an allotment rather than a garden, which is the ability to, the ease with which you can gift things to other people and barter with other people. And not only that is that just a lovely thing to do, it just feels so lovely to gift, so much better in many ways than to receive, but it's also just incredibly efficient. You know, other people do very little work to get their surpluses, and you'd have to do a heck of a lot of work to achieve the same. And some great examples of that in our life is that we barter for our eggs. It's really trivially easy for us to grow 5% more food, and it would be a lot of work to have our own, 4 or 5 hens. Similarly, it's really easy for an allotment neighbour to gift us a bucket full of plums when he has a surplus. It's much more difficult for us to grow and find space for an extra plum tree. So I think bartering is fantastic. We love it. It's one of the best things about having an allotment versus a garden. And of course it's a great way of building friendships with people. You don't just have to barter produce, of course you can barter effort as well, and we're always doing that. And we're also bartering seeds for effort, all sorts, any opportunity basically. So my name's Steve. If you're watching this is the Seaside Kitchen, Garden and Allotment channel, and if you're listening, this is the bonus podcast on the Gardening Week podcast.